Starship Tycoon, Rise to Power in a Futuristic World. In the distant future, humanity had reached out to the stars and established a vast network of interstellar colonies. The galaxy was a tumultuous place, with rival factions vying for power and alien empires seeking to expand their territory. In the midst of this chaos, a new player emerged on the scene. You. As the CEO of a fledgling space exploration company, you quickly set to work expanding your operations and building a fleet of starships. You hired the best and brightest engineers, scientists, and pilots to serve under you, and soon your company was the talk of the galaxy. But success did not come easily. You faced challenges at every turn, from rogue asteroids threatening your mining operations to rival corporations sabotaging your research projects. It was a dangerous and cutthroat business, but you refused to back down. As you expanded your empire, you encountered new species and civilizations, some friendly and some not so much. There were battles to be fought and alliances to be made, all in the name of gaining power and influence in the galaxy. You navigated treacherous political waters and survived assassination attempts, all while maintaining your company's reputation as a fair and just employer. Your fleet grew stronger with each passing day, and your rivals began to take notice. But it was not until you encountered a mysterious alien artifact that everything changed. The artifact granted incredible powers to those who possessed it, and soon every faction in the galaxy was scrambling to get their hands on it. The race was on, and you knew that only the strongest and most powerful would emerge victorious. You marshaled your forces and set out to claim the artifact, battling your way through hordes of enemies and overcoming incredible obstacles along the way. In the end, it was your strategic genius and unwavering determination that won the day. You emerged victorious, with the artifact in your possession and your starship fleet more powerful than ever before. The galaxy was yours to command, and you had become the greatest Starship Tycoon in history. But as you looked out over your empire, you knew that there were always new challenges and adventures waiting just over the horizon. The future was bright, and you were ready to take it on. As the Starship Tycoon, Amelia led her fleet to victory after victory, claiming new territories and expanding her empire with each conquest. But with power comes enemies, and soon she found herself locked in a bitter struggle with a rival tycoon who would stop at nothing to see her brought down. The war raged on for months, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But Amelia's determination never wavered, and she continued to lead her troops with bravery and cunning. Eventually, her hard work paid off, and she emerged victorious over her rival, securing her place as the undisputed leader of the galaxy. But the price of victory was steep, and Amelia couldn't help but wonder if it was all worth it. She had sacrificed so much for her empire, and in the end, she was left feeling empty and alone. Determined to find meaning in her life once again, Amelia set out on a new mission. She traveled to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, exploring strange new worlds and meeting alien races that she had never encountered before. Along the way, she discovered that there was more to life than just power and conquest, and that the true joy of existence lay in the simple pleasures of exploration and discovery. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose, Amelia continued her journey, knowing that whatever lay ahead, she was ready to face it with courage and determination. For she was the Starship Tycoon, and there was nothing in the galaxy that could stand in her way. With the help of the scientists, the Starship Tycoon's technology continued to advance rapidly. The ships were equipped with new weapons and defense systems, and the engines were upgraded for even faster travel. The Tycoon continued to expand their reach, establishing new colonies and mining outposts on distant planets. However, with their newfound success came new challenges. Other factions began to view the Tycoon as a threat, and tensions escalated into full-blown conflicts. The Tycoon's fleet engaged in fierce battles with rival factions, and even encountered new, powerful alien species with advanced technology of their own. Despite the challenges, the Tycoon continued to rise in power and influence. They formed alliances with other factions and gained the loyalty of new colonies, bolstering their resources and manpower. As the years passed, the Tycoon became known as one of the most formidable forces in the galaxy, feared by their enemies and respected by their allies. But even as the Tycoon enjoyed their success, their leader knew that there was still much to be done. There were still new worlds to be explored, new technologies to be discovered, and new threats to be faced. The journey of the Starship Tycoon was far from over, and the future held endless possibilities. The Starship Tycoon continued to expand their empire, conquering one system after another and establishing their dominance throughout the galaxy. Their success, however, also drew the attention of powerful enemies, including a ruthless alien race that had long resented human expansion into their territory. As tensions escalated, the Starship Tycoon knew that they needed to prepare for an all-out war. They poured resources into research and development, creating new weapons, shields, and propulsion systems that could give them an edge in battle. The day finally came when the enemy fleet arrived on the doorstep of the Starship Tycoon's territory. The two sides clashed in a furious battle that lasted for hours, with laser beams and missiles crisscrossing the void of space. In the end, it was the Starship Tycoon who emerged victorious thanks to their superior tactics and technology. They captured several of the enemy ships and forced the alien race to sign a treaty that recognized human sovereignty over the contested systems. As the war drew to a close, the Starship Tycoon reflected on their journey from a small, struggling company to a dominant force in the galaxy. They knew that there were still challenges and obstacles to overcome, but they were ready to face them head-on and continue their rise to power. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, John's empire continued to grow. He added more planets to his territory and upgraded his starships with the latest technology, making them faster, stronger, and more agile. He also expanded his workforce by hiring the best engineers, scientists, and soldiers from across the galaxy. But with his power and influence growing, John also faced new challenges. The other factions began to see him as a threat and started to take action against him. They launched surprise attacks on his planets and starships, hoping to weaken his forces and undermine his authority. John knew that he couldn't let this continue, so he gathered his most trusted advisors and came up with a plan. He would launch a preemptive strike against his rivals, taking out their key targets and crippling their military capabilities. It was a risky move, but John knew that it was the only way to ensure his survival and maintain his position as the most powerful Starship Tycoon in the galaxy. So he gave the order to launch the attack. The battle was fierce and intense, with laser blasts and explosions lighting up the dark void of space. John's forces fought bravely, taking out one enemy ship after another, but the enemy was not going down without a fight. Just as it seemed that victory was within their grasp, John's flagship was hit by a massive blast from the enemy's main weapon. The ship shook violently, and the lights flickered and died. For a moment, John thought it was all over. But then, the backup power kicked in, and the ship's engines roared to life. John breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. He had done it. He had won the battle and secured his place as the ruler of the galaxy. As he surveyed the wreckage of the enemy ships, John couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. He had come a long way from his humble beginnings as a space miner, and now he was a true Starship Tycoon, feared and respected by all who knew him. But John knew that there was still much work to be done. He had to rebuild the planets and starships that were damaged in the battle, and he had to find new ways to stay ahead of his rivals. But for now, John was content to bask in the glow of his victory and celebrate with his loyal crew. They had earned it, and so had he. The end. That's it for this story. I hope you had as much fun listening to it as I did creating it. If you liked the story and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new story.